The atmosphere here in the Sofia, Agwata local government area of Anambra State is ignited. It's a reflection of the fact that the governor was just declared a few minutes ago by INEC as the winner of this election. Many people have resolved to account to this fact that it is what they see as a reflection, and also just to say that the man that worked, that brought Anambra from the IGR of less than 20 million to about near to 200 million, and somebody that gave them new infrastructure and also built schools. These were some of the feelers we got from the feeder that said, with what they've seen on ground, the man should be returned. And indication also states that for having won above 14 local government that is stipulated in the electoral act, that if he wins 2/3 of majority of 21 local government, that is his declared winner. And he also shows that the last election 2021, Abga scored 111,000, and this one has about well over 400,000. That means about 400% increase. That means it shows a reflected trust that people are developing interest in the electoral system. Also to return whom they feel should continue from where it stopped in period of from Oka to Ekulobia to Onitsha, even down to Agwata here. People are celebrating. It does show that this is whom they voted for, and INEC did what they're expecting. But from the filler side, there are indications that some feel that the results supposed to have gone beyond that, because about 1.9 million persons collected the PVCs. But from the coalition so far, less than 1 million. But it's a progression from where they were in 2021 and to where it is this year. From the election results and coalition, and also places we said yesterday, this showed that people are now interested in electoral exercise. Beavers are perfectly working, even incident forms, and even the also. So people are now saying that since INEC are able to come up with this, they are ready to at least to identify with this umpire and be one of the trusted ones to give us the desired dividends of democracy.
Dilajai, what is the mood at the governor's house at this time? Let's feel the ambience at the governor's house.
We are expecting the governor in a few minutes' time to come and address the press. But right here in his hometown in Sofia, the atmosphere can not be compared to any other thing. Villagers are trooping in their droves. Even women are coming with their, just to identify with this victory that's just been sealed for the second tenure for the governor. They believe the good work they said the man has been doing will be consolidated and improved upon the next 4 years. Some even went ahead to say at least some of those infrastructure that he has, he commenced, from Oka to Ekulobia, Dualized Road, then from Wahago to Uga, Dualized Road. These are some of those these are some of those infrastructure that are looking out to the government to focus more in the second tenure. The issue of improved infrastructure in the education sector, which he has commenced, they are seeing to at least to do more in that. And also the area of allowing fillers, because Anambra is known entrepreneurial enterprise in the country. They are basically into businesses. They want somebody that will at least build on what he has been doing to increase investment into the state, and also to restore investment in trust, because on security, everybody has been giving him what's it called, a clap of it, because last 4 years coming here to at least to do the same exercise, it wasn't as easy as it is now, but everything now is safe. People can even come from outside the country to come to Anambra State to participate in this exercise. They've lauded him over in security, in economic, and even in commerce. They want him to build and consolidate on the achievement he has recorded in the past 3.5 to 4 years.
Bamdele Ajayi, there were reactions about some people who were disenfranchised in this particular election, that the beavers could not capture them. Some are indeed saying that, if they were not captured, they were defranchised in this election. So what is your reaction? You were on ground yesterday. Give a total assessment on the performance of beavers and INEC in this election. Hello, Bamdele, are you there? Hello, Bamidele, are you there? We seems to be having a network challenge in getting through to Bamidele, but let's tell you that the total valid vote in this election is 584,054. We have rejected vote of 11,224. And the total vote cast is 95,298. That is the total vote cast in this particular election. Congratulations to the All Progressives Congress in this election. That is Professor Charles Chukwuma Soludo is now the governor of the state for the second time. I told you earlier that he won all the 21 local governments in that particular state. We had a discussion on the issue of militarization of this particular election, where it was increased from 55,000 to about 80,000 security personnel to cover this election, the off-cycle election. But let's quickly bring the reaction and the announcement of that particular result announced by the returning officer, Professor Bright Omorege, SAN, the Vice Chancellor of University of Benin.
I, Professor Edoma Bright Omorege, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Vice Chancellor of University of Benin, hereby certify that I am the returning officer for the 2025 Anambra State governorship election held on the 8th day of November 2025. I also certify that the election was contested and that a winner emerged. The candidate with the highest number of votes cast and percentage have all been computed. I therefore declare that Soludo Charles Chukwuma of the APGA, I will satisfy the requirement of the law and score the highest number of votes in this election, is hereby declared the winner and returned elected.
That was the announcement there concerning this election. Now, let's tell you that it's a litmus test for the INEC chairman. Recall, we told you that 16 days to this election, he was sworn in. I'm talking about Professor George Amukichan was sworn in as the INEC chairman. In this election, we saw 114 observers, 76 media organizations, and 500 journalists saddled with the responsibility to cover this election to ensure that it is transparent. We also told you that the INEC chairman promised a free, fair, and credible election in Anambra. So we expect to see reactions and counter-reactions on this particular result. But we also told you that 24,000 ad hoc staff and over 3,000 vehicles and 83 boats for transportation of personnel and materials to the polling unit. And we saw reactions about officers getting to the poll at the right time. The election was scheduled from 8:30 to 2:30. We saw the INEC officials getting to the poll very early. It's indeed a test for the INEC chairman, Professor George Amukichan. We expect to see more reactions. We also told you that 16 political parties, 16 governorship candidates, 14 male candidates, and 2 female candidates jostled for this election for the lighthouse. Is the light shining in Anambra at the moment? Second term in office of Professor Chukwuma Soludo, who polled 422,664. We now have our correspondent Uche Okoro giving us a live update outside the Collation Center. Uche, give us what exactly is happening at the outside the Collation Center at the moment.
Right now, you can see, if you can look around you, you can see there's a little bit of chaos here. Many of the political party agents have granted interviews and they've left. The political party agent of APGA has, hailed the outcome of the election, and he has given kudos to the performance of the Independent Electoral Commission. We still have observers here and other stakeholders in the election who are talking to the press and giving their impression of the election so far. But overall, there is a general sense of agreement that the election was well conducted. A lot of persons have given kudos to INEC and saying that they have done well, that this election is the new INEC chairman has passed the litmus test in the conduct of election, and hoping that the processes they implemented here will be carried over into future polls and improved upon. So here the collation center is empty now. Attention, I believe, now will be moving to the streets of Awka to see how the people are taking it. But political parties, specifically the winners, have celebrated. The other participating political parties that were here have congratulated the winners, shook hands with their co-party agents. So attention right now will move to where the governor is, the government house, and perhaps the APGA secretariat here in Awka, and the streets of Awka to feel the pulse of the people, to see how they are reacting to these final results declared by INEC here after final collation of 21 local government areas.
Uche, are you privy to know how many of the party agents were able to sign the election results? Hello, Uche, can you hear me? Are you privy to know how many of the agents were able to sign the election results?
I counted about 3 political party agents who did so. YPP is here, ADC was here, and APGA was here. Those were the 3 that I can be very sure of, I can speak to about their presence here, who signed the party, who signed the result sheet here today. I think that from other political parties, I think in the coming hours and in the coming days, we will get the reaction of other political parties, specifically the All Progressives Congress, which came second in this election. Thankfully, INEC has noted that this time around the margin of lead was enough to declare a winner compared to the last governorship election, where we needed to have a supplementary election in places like specifically Ihiala. Collation was delayed as a result of that, but we did not have that scenario play out in this election. Some of us were prepared for that, but as fate would have it, all 21 government areas